How many of you can relate to this? The area just inside our front door had a shoe problem, and in this video, I'm going to show you how I made it disappear. Now, we did look at just buying a shoe cabinet, but we don't really like the way they look, and the only space at our front door where it could go was already taken up by this hall table I made that has served us well for almost 10 years, and we like it there. This part of our house is like memory lane for me. It features a few of my past builds. The hall table was made in 2016. There's the new pot stands I made last year. A live edge mirror I made in 2018. And down the hall is the blue console table I made in 2021. I'll leave links to all those build videos in the description below. But what I want to show you is that not too far from the front door is this storage cupboard. And after a long overdue clean out, there was plenty of spare space in it to install a couple of custom made shoe drawers. First thing I had to do was to install some side panels into this space for the drawer runners to fix to. So I measured the distance between the two shelves at the front and then checked if that measurement was the same at the back of the shelves by using two lengths of material clamped together to get an accurate internal measurement. Happy to say that all four measurements were the same. My intention for this build was to make it entirely from material I already had, some new and some reused. The only thing I bought for the drawers were the runners. I set the stop block on the saw to cut 6 boards at the same length from these offcuts of 12mm ply that I had. Each side panel in the cupboard was going to be made up of 3 of these boards edge glued together. I first squared up one end and then used a stop block to cut each of the boards to length. Some of these ply offcuts had a bit of a bend to them, but I just made sure to alternate the boards when gluing them together, so one cancelled out the other, and when the panels were all glued up, they were nice and flat. To help pull the boards straight, I used dowels to edge glue them together, and of course I used my favourite tool in the shop, the Dowmax doweling jig. I'll put a link to it in the description below. I even used some old white PVA glue that had been given to me a while ago. Perfect fit every time. When the panels had dried, I cut them the final dimension on the table saw. I gave them a quick sand along the joints and then tried them for fit in the cupboard. How good's that? And same for the other panel. Now I'm actually talking to the camera here, but for some reason the sound didn't record. I was explaining how the panel will be fixed directly to the door jamb with screws along the front edge, but I didn't want any structure like battens or cleats on the inside of the space to fix the panels in place, so I'm going to attach strips of timber on the back of the panels along the top and bottom edges because there's some empty space behind those panels. And to secure them in place, I'll screw into those cleats down through the top shelf and up through the bottom shelf. You'll see how all that comes together later in the video. I cut some strips of 19mm ply for the fixing cleats and glued and screwed them in place on the back of the panels. I then fixed the drawer runners to the side panels, and there was no set height for these. I just positioned them so they wouldn't cover up any of the screws at the front of the panel. I used a spacer to make sure the top runner was parallel to the bottom one. I then removed those runners so I could give the side panels a quick sand before a coat of paint. And you'll notice I cut finger holes at the back of the panels thinking I would need them to position the panels in place, but I didn't need them after all. No problem. Design feature. Time to fit the panels into the cupboard. I screwed them into place at the front and then checked that they were square before screwing into those cleats up through the lower shelf and down through the upper shelf. Next was making the drawers, and I checked that the panels were actually parallel and equally spaced, which they were, and I would use that measurement between the runners to get the correct width for the drawers. I had a lot of reclaimed melamine from some old cupboards, so I ripped it all down to rough size while eliminating any screw holes, shelf pin holes, and hinge cutouts. Melamine is notorious for chipping out on the side where the blade exits when cut. My panel saw has a scoring blade to help eliminate chip out, but I really don't like using it. I prefer the two-cut method where you make a very shallow cut first and then raise the blade and make the final cut. Yes, it takes a bit longer, but I'm in no rush to get out of the workshop. As you can see, you get a very clean cut. I've finished cutting all the drawers to final dimension. The front of the drawers were going to be lower than the back, so they could be pulled out without the need for drawer pulls. And I wanted a very simple transition between the two heights on the drawer sides, so I cut out a routing template on the laser. I traced the template onto the drawer sides and rough cut them out on the bandsaw. I measured where the drawer runners would be positioned on each drawer and marked that on the template so I could screw it directly to the melamine, and the drawer slide would hide those screw holes. But I made the classic mistake that all makers have made. I forgot to account for a right and left side and screwed the template to the same face on all the side pieces, which meant that when assembled, the screw holes would be visible on the inside of the drawers on one side. Oh well, another design feature? Probably can't get away with that one. I screwed the templates to the drawer sides and finished them off at the router table. I then edge banded all the drawer components only on the edges that would be seen when the drawer was assembled. I show a lot more of the edge banding process in the pantry trays video, also linked below and at the end of this video. The drawers were assembled using simple butt joints strengthened with dowels. There won't be any drawer fronts on these drawers, so the inside face of the front and back panels attach to the edge of the side panels. So the joint isn't visible from front on, but this joint orientation isn't as strong as doing it the other way. This is how I built the pantry trays, relying only on glued in dowels, and they're plenty strong. But I wanted to do these ones a little different. So I took a very shallow pass on the router table, just shaving off the thin layer of melamine so I could get a fully glued up joint. I used a guide board on top of the router fence for the narrower pieces, but felt comfortable not needing it on the wider pieces. Time to glue up the drawers. I love the accuracy of the Dowmax. It makes glue ups stress-free. I then cut the bases for the drawers to size, edge banded the 3 visible edges and then screwed them in place. The drawers were going to be placed low enough in the cupboard that these screw heads don't need to be covered or hidden. Final assembly was fixing the drawer slides in place and installing the drawers into the cupboard. This was definitely the better solution because the drawers are completely out of sight, hidden behind that cupboard door.